Good morning, everyone, and Assalamu alaikum, and welcome back to the topic which is currently in a discussion, and that is about how the firms earn profits and what are their behaviors towards their price and output while deciding. So this is the last content which we can discuss under the firms, and that is what are the objectives of the firms. So far, the basic objectives which we learn for a firm. Before we start with the objective first, let's recall what is firm. A firm is something which reflects or represents as one of the factors of production, right? And that factor of production is actually to combine all remaining factors of production: land, capital, entrepreneur, and the labor. So this firm, which have another name as enterprise. So please don't be surprised if we use the word firm for it. And so we should be clear in our mind that firm's basic objective is to produce goods and services. The definition of a firm is to produce goods and services by combining all the factors of production. All right, and enterprise is another name for the firm. So what are the objectives? What is the basic function or the objective for the firm or its aim? So the firms are aiming to earn profits. Their main objectives to focus on the profit. If the firm is earning profit, it will move on its path, and it will keep on producing goods and services. But let's suppose if they are facing losses, a negative profit, that means that the same firm is going to close down those goods and services which are not giving them the profit. So what would the firm would do then? Then they will look upon some other goods and services in which they can switch their resources: land, labor, capital, all right? And when they will do that, then that is going to be their decision. Why they're deciding to switch? Profit is the actual objective. So it means that on the whole, we do have this concern that the most of the firms in the world are actually having the common objective, or one of the basic objective, to earn profit, but not only the profit, but to have a maximum profit. This is what all the firms have their objective. And how would they maximize their? This is all discussed in our last lesson, by reducing the cost and maximizing its revenues. So should you think that this is the only objective with the firm, or all the firms around us, they are doing the same, or all of them have the same objective that they are following? If we just see it generally, let's count down some of the firms which are actually having the same objective. Starting from a general store or a grocery shop. A grocery shop, which you are popularly knowing as a general store, or maybe a convenient a store, which we can say like somebody's providing those goods which are used in our daily routine. So these grocery shops are known as firms, but this type of firm is known as a very small firm, and perhaps one of the which is the type of this is that is sole tradership. So today I'm trying to interrelate other topics with all together with this topic. So the grocery shop is actually a firm. It can be known as a sole trader, and one of their main objectives is to earn profit. How would they earn the profit? Definitely they will try to sell the goods above the cost which they have paid or purchased. So if we just move to another example, a very large firm like a cement factory. Now this is a large firm, And cement factory can be considered as a limited company. We have plenty of cement factories and companies before us, which can be checked from the resources. Like we have like DG Cement, we have like Askari Cements, and there are many other brands which we find. And if you just take a little search, you will find that they are the public limiteds. But the word limited sometimes is mentioned with them, showing that they are a large firm. So what is their basic objective? Obviously, it's again the profit. So all of them, they are having one basic objective known as profit. But not all the firms which are producing goods and services will have only profit as an objective. Sometimes some firms have their different objectives other than earning the profit. Now let's see what could be those. If I just give you an example like an institute, any charitable hospital. There are various around our community, a charitable, somebody who's giving free of cost health care. All right? A charitable hospital is like giving goods and services. As a firm, they are giving these goods and services. But do you think that their main objective could be profit? No, simply not. Their objective is something different. Their objective is to set or like give services for the well-being of its humanity. So it means that the charitable organization would have a different objective, such as welfare. What kind of welfare? Social welfare. Something which gives benefit to the society. So it means that apart from the profit, if somebody asks you that is the firms have only one basic objective? No. We can contradict this by saying that some firms around in our economy, they are sometimes have different objectives such as like social welfare. So social welfare is another point which contributes that the firms can have another type of objective or aim. So profit is there. So we are going to highlight the second one, and let's put it this way, that some firms apart from profits, they are also like to have an objective to give welfare to its community. And so you see many charitable institutions, many non-government organizations, popularly known as NGOs, like a very famous name like WWF, the Worldwide Fund or Foundation. Have you heard about that? Of course. What is the main purpose of that? It's just to protect and create awareness of the well-being of the animals on the world, right? So their main area is social welfare. So that is another objective, dear students, which we can highlight that the firm can have another objective other than profit. Let's seek some more examples. What are the other examples which we could see that they might have something different objective other than profits and social welfare? Okay, now before I come up with this next point, I need to introduce one word which is like commonly used in economics. The word is a blend of two terminologies. You might have used the word or heard the word sacrifice, right? You must have heard another word known as satisfy. Now, satisfaction and sacrification. Let's put it this way. Now, satisfaction is something which we are having as a feeling which actually gives us some pleasure, and sacrifice is when we like lose something, we forego something. Together, like economist has taken some words from this and one from this, and they've derived a word that is known as satisfication. Now this is a new word which was introduced by economists because it was the blend of these two characteristics. And they said that sometimes firms, while they're earning the profits, there is not like they want to maximize the profit, but they want to increase the satisfaction by accumulating the profit. So it is something which is for the satisfaction, like in which you are sacrificing something and at the same time you are sacrificing as well. So what are you sacrificing? You're actually sacrificing profits, but what you are trying to satisfy is your stakeholders, somebody who is related to you. For example, if you have some shareholders and you want them to be loyal to your firm and they keep investing in you, why and what will make them to like keep trusting on you? That is when they are more loyal and when you are giving them a very nice and handsome amount of dividend. You know, the firms, large firms, they usually earn huge profits and they try to maximize the profits by themselves. And they give a smaller portion according to the shareholders, what they are holding with them, and they give some amount out of the profit, which is known as dividend. Now, sometimes just to keep them or make happy to their shareholders, they sometimes actually sacrifice their profits and they like give more dividends to the shareholders just to make them happy. And when the shareholders are happy, they will try to retain their amount, and with you, they will keep on investing with you. And that is something how they become loyal to you. The capital is more like retained and you are more having chances to increase your growth. Okay, sometimes you spend your profits somehow in like giving some welfare or recreational facility to your workers, like making a swimming pool or maybe a badminton court. But why are you doing that? This is just to satisfy your workers. You understand, when you are giving them such thing out of your profit, you're giving some fringe benefits to them, then they will be more efficient and they will be like more loyal to your company and they will try to give you a better quality since the belongingness is improving and it's growing with the firm, with the workers. So profit satisficing or profit satisfaction is another term or objective, dear students. So the word, why we are using the satisfaction, it's derived from these two words, dear students. And how they are doing it, out of the profit, they are actually using some other means. And this is sometimes some very few firms who have their objectives other than maximizing the profits. So through profit satisfaction, they are sacrificing their profits for the betterment of others. So this is yet another word. So we are going to highlight that profit satisfying is another reason for some firms which they are using apart from their profits. Okay, now let's move on to some more objectives. Sometimes when you feel like that the firms other than profits, social welfare, and profit satisficing, sometimes firms have some objectives to grow. Now, growing is sometimes again a reason or objective for the firm apart from your profits. Just imagine if you have one shop and you're earning so much out of it, but you think that I should keep enjoying the profit. Why not I just grow and I have more increasing in my factors of production of my business? Like I have more shops and outlets, or maybe more factories around the nation or globally. That can be one of the objectives. But in that, you cannot maximize your profit, but with the growth, you can increase your sales. So, main target is to sometimes maximize your sales as well. So by growing, you're increasing the sales maximization, and we know that sometimes when you're selling more, your products, they are highly in demand, and you have more chances to gain another objective, which is known as survival. So survival is another objective for the firm. So sometimes when you think that the profits are not earned, you're not working for this, not even, but sometimes some firms, they sometimes set their objectives as for survival's sake. If I just quote this last point, why I kept it over here, we must see at this time when the whole globe is suffering with pandemic, you might see that this time most of the firms, their profits are badly affected. The other objectives are impossible at the moment. But now their main objective is how they would survive, because their demand is getting down, the economy is almost going to its recession. So that actually represents the survival can be one of the most important for the firms. And how would they do that? Obviously, there are ways through which they can cut down their cost, and how if they cannot increase their revenues. So survival can be another objective for the firms together. So dear students, ending up this small chunk today, we just found out that the firms would have very top of its line to maximize its profits. This is their basic objective. If they are not working for this, some firms would work for the social welfares. They can also work apart from the maximizing profit, they can do the profit satisfying by giving more or transferring or endorsing their profits to the well-being of their stakeholders. The firms could also have objective to grow, and we can see many multinationals, their main objective is to grow, and they try to increase their branches as they like, and even our local chains, you can find out that how they are growing. Their main objective other than profit is to grow as well. So sales maximization can be another reason or objective for the firms, that some firms, they would like to increase their sales, and that can be another reason. And survival is the last objective which I am setting over here, that most of the firms, they can have also this objective in their agenda. So that's it for today, and we are going to start the new topic from the coming week. So I'm sending one worksheet for you, which is actually the combination of all those topics which have been learned in our previous weeks. So you're going to try that at home, and that includes all the costs. So, and followed by how we can calculate the revenues, and how the firms would maximize its profits. All is related to our previous lessons. So please go through those lessons again and try to attempt this worksheet, and I'll be looking forward how you attempt and submit that. So see you next week, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.